Yo, 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 Hollow Knight Nation! Yeah! Hollow Knight Nation! Yeah, yeah, yeah. Alright, alright, alright. So, okay. Bit of a dirty desk. Not my place. Guest episode. It's the rival speaking. The one and... Actually, I don't think it's the only one. There's quite a few people who took up this challenge and beat it before either of us. It's a bit depressing. They could have not done that and I would have been happier. But I guess they did teach me a lot of stuff. Main guy, Trolector, remember him? I think maybe I've done it like before we started too. But I don't know, he definitely stopped. Also, he won immediately. Like on his first attempt, he beat it, and then it was like his whole shtick was how many times can I beat the game in a row? A bit demoralizing when you couldn't even like reach Collector, let alone beat him. But I have done so. I have beat the game. I've also beat this challenge, which is pretty epic. Took me a while, more than a year. That's pretty cool. I think it's more than a year. Technically not, but if you talk like day to day, oh my god. Talking all that high about myself and I'm losing to Venge Viking, that would be kind of funny. I don't know what I'm waiting for. Somehow I need to heal, or somehow I just need to kill them. Okay, this is a good spot to heal, I think. Yeah. Alright. No audio. Doing the audioless challenge, because it's like... There's only 4 bindings in the game. It's pretty boring. Like, once you've tried them all, and you've tried them all, bad time to heal. But that's fine. And so I'm kind of giving myself another challenge by doing audioless. It's like the audio binding. It's done by not equipping the item known as headphones. Simply because I don't know where they are. Actually, there is a pair of headphones right on the desk right now. They just don't really look that appetizing to me. So I'm not going to put them on. I'm just like a way to nerf myself, you know? It'd be too easy if I just stroll up here and beat it in the first try. Like, you know, first time I played Hollow Knight in eons. And I'd do it on his challenge, like just beat his challenge on his channel. It would be pretty disrespectful, wouldn't it? Not gonna lie, it is what I'm going for. Definitely what I'm shooting for. Unfortunately, don't think it's gonna happen out of practice. I mean, you can probably like tell by my depressing Vengefly and gross mother. Maybe I should like start doing the nail arts and shrieks more. Pay more attention to like using my toolkit. Nail damage don't do shit in this challenge because of nail binding. Duh. So you really want to go for the shrieks every time you can, and if not, like Cyclone Slash. Wow. Yeah. All right. You can please stay off. Anyway, didn't know how much I missed Hollow Knight. It's such a fun game for the combat mostly. I do really like the platforming too. It's not really relevant in this mode, unfortunately. But yeah, excited for Silksong. I haven't been in like. For a long time now, 5 years or so, maybe 6. How long has it been? When was it like announced? I don't remember. Back in my olden days, when I was still a wee lad. I actually just yeah, that's perfectly fine. Then I wait for the thing to go off, and then I Cyclone Slash, and then spot. All right, yeah, we got the cycle going. Actually, they should like pop, pop, pop. Then we wait. Yeah. Hardest thing about this fight is that it's horrible preparation for its harder counterpart. Like I don't think I can. You kind of get used to him. You fight him each run basically because you know he's one of the first bosses you meet. So you always have tried this guy, and then you meet his harder counterpart, and it's just I think it's called False Champion or yeah something like that. And it's just way harder, so much quicker, and you're kind of still in that headspace of like, oh yeah, this guy's easy, I can just do this, and you've got like some muscle memory because the guy looks the same. Oh, I'm doing this wrong. But yeah, generally a difficult fight. Okay, but I don't know, go the first one. I don't know what I was saying. I'm saying I missed Hollow Knight. That's true. I didn't really realize it, but then I saw the homie playing, and I was like, damn, that could be me. Now I'm here. Pretty fun. Just satisfying. The combat, really fluent. You got like full control. It's not like one of those momentum-based platformers where you know you got like acceleration or deceleration when you're in the air. No, you move and you move like immediately. You know, they just put the velocity up immediately when you press right or left. You know, it's not even like any gradient between like how far you put the analog stick. You know what I mean? Like the joystick. Nope, it's just you go left, you go right, or you don't. Which it works really well. As someone who has like dabbled in games now, I've like made some for my study. Depressingly, a lot of my study, because it's like a group project mostly, and then I've been working with my group members. They want to make a game. Sure, we'll make a game. It's not really my biggest passion, but I like coding, and I like those guys that I'm working with. So why not just make a game with them? And it's been alright fun. It's just a bit. I don't really particularly like working with Unity, like the game engine, because it does a lot of things for you. It makes total sense for you to use for as a beginner or someone who just want to make a game, has a big passion for it, but don't necessarily want to dive too heavy into the coding aspect. It's sadly kind of the unfortunate opposite of what I want. I do really like coding. I think it's super fun. I like learning new ways to use, programming languages, and learning different ways to solve these logic puzzles that arise and stuff. And that's kind of why I like coding. So unfortunately, when Unity has all the answers for you, already made, pre-made, already established solutions to the thing that I face, oh wow, I need to make it so that my player can move on this grid. We can use a grid-based platforming. Not really a platforming, just a grid-based terrain, and it's gonna be super epic. And I'm working out how I can spawn squares on grid, for loop and a for loop, and trying to find ways to take note of each of the grids. You know what I mean? Each space needs to be accessible and interacted with for various reasons. And it's kind of interesting. I'm liking working with this and figuring out this kind of a puzzle is essentially. Only to then learn that Unity already has a built-in tile manager system, which is, of course, a lot better than what I could make, but also a lot less free. I don't really understand it as much. When I make something on my own, it's of course I'll understand it completely because I made it, so I can work with it incredibly fluently, and it's super fun because I can work out, oh, I can do this and I can do this. Wait, this allows me to do that. You get ideas from accessibility. Some people say that limitation breeds creativity or innovation, which is definitely true. When you're limited to a certain number of actions, you're more likely to think about those actions more, consider them to a greater extent, use, you know what I mean? Be more thoughtful of the specific things. Whereas if you have everything as an option, you often don't really get that creative. You just do whatever you find accessible. I guess I can do this because I have the ability to do that. Blah blah blah. I don't know really where I'm going here. I'm trying to say that if you're coding something from scratch, you know exactly what limitation it has, but also where you're not limited, and you can figure out I have access to this. Technically, I could work do something with this thing. Blah blah blah. I don't know. It's a fun process, I think, which Unity tile map system does not offer at all, because then you have to read the manual essentially, and go on Unity tutorials, either on their blog or whatever it's called, their references, or just watch YouTube videos. That's mostly what I do. It's kind of just maybe a bit of an issue that I learned most of my techniques there from YouTube, because a lot of them are just slop. They want to just make videos for engagement. They want to make money, so they have a lot of long intros and incredibly unnecessary jokes and links to hey, you shouldn't subscribe, here's the link to my bio, you can check out my other channels, I have some other videos where I do this, and they a lot of clutter, kind of waste, but I do like following along with the tutorial when I'm trying to debug a certain thing, figure out how something works, that I can work with whatever they're doing on my own, at seeing them what they're doing, while I'm also alt-tabbing or looking at my other monitor at my own personal project, kind of reference immediately. Oftentimes what I'll do is just go to their, I often have a GitHub link to show their code, and that's really what I just use, kind of writing off their end product instead of how they're explaining it, because I kind of need to figure out what they're doing if you want to use it anyway. Where was I going? Oh yeah, Unity time map. That's not really anything coding related. It's just navigating the menus in Unity, which I don't think is very fun. But I've been doing a lot of that in my study, which is not that epic. I'm hoping it'll get better, more, you know, raw, as you could call it, essentially, later on in my semesters, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, going back from that tangent, Hollow Knight has funny. Oh, I need to. Shit, I fucked it up. Hollow Knight has funny movement where it's just instant. It's really easy to make. Like it's almost a default that you would make if you're just being lazy. But I guess it like really works well. You know, we made a 2D platformer at some point. It was like for a game jam, or like the first time we have any coding problems, like coding projects in our semester. We're told to make a game with like specific requirements and like this theme we're given about like some African, like Namibia folk tales, which is cool enough, I guess. I don't really care that much about the aesthetic or the setting, so it's fun to like already have kind of a setting set out for us, you know, a theme set out, and then, you know, my group members could really dig into that and work with that. They really like designing. I have like a lot of artists around me in that group, which is like in the main, like the people I hang out with at uni are a lot of like are artists, which is super cool, and they have a lot of the same interests as me in like some aspects. Like I have a guy who's really into Rain World, another guy who's like super cool into I don't know, various deck building games, and they're all like super good artists apparently also. We like make fan art and shit for them. One of them almost made like official art for Rain World, which was super epic. Unfortunately, it didn't get used for actually kind of a long story. And, you know, I never go on tangents, so I wouldn't say that right now. But essentially, oh shit, I gotta buy. Now they just have some shitty, like really awesome shit as art that I could like print out on like some stickers and put on my laptop and phone and shit. It's been pretty cool. Yeah, sometimes I wonder, like, maybe I should start making art, you know, either like some songs or something, like, or like drawing. 'Cause I do really like drawing. I remember as a kid, a young fella, I draw quite a lot, like in my free time. Super fun, and I think I can draw pretty well. Of course, it's not like particularly beautiful. It's not something that I would let anyone buy, because it's not that good. It's also not something that I'm, you know, like exceedingly proud of. It's something that I'm proud of because I think like whenever I draw a drawing, I think it looks good, and I've made it myself, so that's pretty cool. That's all I really need from it. But it might be like worth it to like truly study some anatomy and like figuring out how like, you know, human muscles work like and look, so you can draw things truly properly. I remember at some point I realized that I sucked at drawing hands. A classic difficult thing to draw. It was while I was working at Dagligbosen Mall. And like just in the breaks, and also just when there were no one is like at the cash register, I would just sit on like drawing on post-it notes, drawing various hands, looking at my own hand as a reference, trying to draw that. Really, really struggling. I could not figure it out based on my own hands. Horrible reference, maybe, like a disfigured, horrible-looking skeleton hand. But yeah, I don't know. After a while, I got the job done. Now I can like semi-consistently draw hands. Mostly what I do is just kind of conceal them or make them really undetailed. Just kind of vaguely gesture at where the fingers might be, and like there may be like some what's called knuckles here, and something another, you know, like just kind of vaguely gesture to it. Not like drawing the full thing. One thing I noticed was that when I was drawing characters, I would go into heavy detail on everything, but also no thing. It's kind of like going very detailed on the face and like the wrinkles and like some eyes and shit. Super detailed there, and then I would go on to like this shirt, which would just be a plain nothing t-shirt, no wrinkles, no nothing, no shading or anything. And then I would go down to their arms with just lines. Maybe I'd put some veins in there randomly, which looks kind of out of place because nothing else is that detailed. And then I'd go on the hands, were super hyper detailed as well, which looked so off. A lot of like clutter, and I wasn't really good at like framing and what needed to be in focus, you know what I mean? I was trying to give everything detailed, except I wasn't actually giving everything detail. I only gave the most interesting things detail in a weird way. I don't know, I feel like I don't know anything about proper detailing or like doing stuff like that, but I feel like the answer is to either focus your details on what's important and then nothing else, or detail everything. And I was kind of detailing things that weren't necessarily important while leaving other stuff that was super important out, which, I don't know. I'm not really that competent at drawing. I just kind of like doing it when I was young, and now I think I can draw pretty much whatever I set my mind to. It might not look the best, but it can look whatever I feel like. So that's what I was talking about. Maybe I should like start learning to do it really properly, like really well, because it is pretty awesome. And then I can also like make fan art and shit, because that's never really interested me that much until quite recently, when I learned that these awesome people at uni have drawn a lot of fan art, and their fan art looks fucking sick, and it's been like a good way for me to like gauge what their interests were and how we're alike. It's like, oh shit, they like Rain World, they like it so much that they're drawing art of it. Okay, well, that's a like whole nother level of liking that Rain World. Like, yeah, I like that game, but I have never contributed to the community or anything. So shit, you know, maybe I should start doing that. Kind of same thing with oh shit, Hollow Knight, where I was like, man, where I really like this, but I've never really participated that much in the community until I made a YouTube channel to just play this challenge. Oh my god, I lost both my lifeblood. And I don't know, people started like talking, like engaging with me in the comments, and I was like, holy shit, yeah, damn. I was like talking to people about the game, and they were like cheering me on as I was like getting further and further. Even when I wasn't getting that far, they were like, yeah, you can do it, man, I believe in you. Which is super cool, and they were like just talking about other stuff. Some of them were giving cool advice that was super useful, and I was like, whoa, that's smart. Started doing that, like taking the advice from viewers. Others were making like horrible advice, like either stuff that I already knew, or stuff that just kind of like was wrong and would actively avoid doing. But I appreciate the comments either way, and I think maybe it would be a good idea to start contributing or engaging with communities more. It's like, I don't know. It just seems like a cool concept. Like, why am I not doing it already? Don't know. Is it shyness? I'm kind of shy. I don't think so. Maybe. Or maybe it's just like that I don't feel that strongly about these communities. Because, you know, I really like Hollow Knight. But now I haven't played it in quite a while. I still like it, but it's not like I'm super interested. I'm not going to go on the forums and start posting there. I still look at memes on there sometimes. I'm still on the Hollow Knight meme subreddit on my Reddit account. I potentially like laugh at the occasional meme. Actually, the one like community that I'm most likely to like truly engage with would probably be either Wild Frost, the deck building game, one of my favorite, maybe my favorite. I think definitely has some of the most interesting core mechanics, you know, outside of being a deck builder, roguelike deck builder, blah blah blah. Where you build your deck as you go. It also has some of the coolest core mechanics about putting your characters on a grid, essentially like on 6 tiles, with 2 of them facing front and like 3 behind, 2x6. The enemies also being this 2x6, and you position them on the right spot to like attack the proper enemy, and you can use other cards to do something. The turn base is really cool because it's each card has they take a turn after a given amount of time, not really time, but like it's called actions. So a card will have a 4 symbol. It means that like it places turn after 4 actions, and action is every time you play a card or ring a bell or something, which means you can play 4 cards before that card will do anything action wise, like do its turn. Does that make sense? And so as the enemy, they also have counters, and you can see, okay, this enemy will do something after 3 actions, and I can also see that it'll attack this enemy, like this ally, and do this and that. Which lets you strategize. Okay, you can use those 3 actions to either prevent that enemy from doing that much harm, maybe putting its attack on an ally with a lot of health, or one that can like easily regain that health. Or alternatively, you can try to use your actions to completely kill that enemy, making sure it won't ever take its action. You can also use actions that stun enemies, making them take longer before doing their action, like adding snow to them, essentially freezing them, and all sorts of stuff, which is, I think, really cool, interesting way of doing it. And then of course there's a lot of combos of different cards interacting with each other. One card has like maybe it only does its action every 12 turns, or I think I've been using that wrong. It does its turn every 12 actions, which is a super long time. But once it does, it hits every enemy, which is a super powerful ability. Generally, some enemies can like do something. Oh, they can hit twice, or maybe they hit the whole row, meaning like a maximum of 3, and like it can attack multiple times. Those are generally really powerful abilities. Getting characters to attack multiple times, of course, super strong. Essentially, adds like a multiplier to the damage, and also adding like barrage, making them attack multiple enemies at once. Also super strong. It essentially, like first of all, it allows for combos much easier, which gives you more money on kill. It's also a good way of getting rid of multiple enemies, and it's just generally a good power. Essentially also multiplies your attack output, but spreads it out. But this ally that attacks every 12 turns, or 12 actions or whatever, it does so, and hits every enemy, which is super powerful. And the attack isn't necessarily that strong, but that's when you like recognize this powerful ability and you give it various buffs. Like, okay, once you attack, you also debuff every enemy, so suddenly every enemy is hit and takes a debuff, which is super cool, because some allies have an ability where they attack every time an enemy is debuffed, which is like, okay, suddenly these two synergize amazingly well. If I can debuff every enemy, oh shit, and then attack every enemy that's debuffed, and I just attack every enemy essentially twice and debuff them. Super cool, super awesome. You can do some fun stuff with that. Oh my god, holy fuck, I forgot how insufferable this guy was. Damn, that's it. I think I have it in me to win this. That sucks. Oh! Woo! Woo! Okay, okay. Who's next? Who's next? Shio? Oh, Flukemon. Okay. I'll take it slow and like heal. Okay, yeah. Thought I was gonna have some mild struggle. Shio's not that difficult. Well, he is, but he's super easy at the same time. He's really difficult, but also super easy to like learn, which makes him, just in general easy. I really like Shio. Super fun fight. Why am I not attacking? Yeah, but Flukemon not really that much. You can get unlucky when you're climbing and get hacked by them, but otherwise you can just kind of get into a cycle where you Cyclone Slash, Shriek, Cyclone Slash, Shriek, or you can just stay down here and attack every now and again. Cyclone Slash and Shriek is definitely like quicker thing to do, and therefore probably the better one. Also generally less risky because you can often kill the thingamajigs, the minions, immediately as they spawn, as opposed to like actively attacking them once they have spawned, because the hitbox of Shriek is so big, and also Cyclone Slash can sometimes kill them as they spawn. Of course I didn't do it there because I didn't have any health to work with. I wonder how far I'll get. I'm thinking maybe I could get to Collector and lose there. I struggle to remember who's like the next difficult boss, like who's the next roadblock, I should say, like next wall, big obstacle. Who am I gonna struggle with? And it might be Collector. I don't think there's anyone else. Like one of them were sisters, definitely, which I beat. It was a bit tense. I think I got down to 2 health at some point. The main issue with them is that you don't really get much chance to heal. Any mistake is punished. You gotta be quick-witted, like pay attention fully well. And then I'm not really paying that much attention on these early bosses, so that definitely gets you. It kind of like punishes people who are not paying attention, or generally have like lower reaction time, or like control over their character. It's kind of somewhat the same thing where you can. This was more about paying attention. I guess, it should be about paying attention, making sure you understand where every obstacle is, and also a way to deal with them. You gotta think a little bit ahead to make sure you're not maneuvering yourself into a horrible position, while at simultaneously doing some damage. Like there, I maneuvered myself into a bad spot. I could have definitely avoided that. You know, there's not super easy ways to heal, so I'm probably just gonna use my Shriek. Can't really heal now though. Hopefully I'll be fine. Who's next? Elderhu? Already? No. Chio! Awesome. No soul. Now I kind of shit on him for being easy, but I want it to be a good way. The thing about that makes him easy is that he's super well telegraphed. Like every attack he does has a color defined. I always use the pink attack. If you know what to do against the pink attack, you know what to do against this pink attack, you know? You never question, what's he gonna do now? Because you can kind of see it. There's some RNG, but very little. So yeah, generally you can just kind of do it with the best option, always. And then you can like figure out like what's the awesome ways to do stuff like that, you know? If the guy can, or I'm fully healed, you can dash through him. Potential Shriek there, didn't have the soul for it. Otherwise, like I could have done there if I was more, you know, observant, ready for it. Shriek there is really bad. I only dealt 20 damage, I think, which would have, it's worse than a single Shade Soul. Major L, Major L. Oh. Yeah. That's good Shriek. Thank you, Shiu. Thank you for being a fun fight. Kind of lost conversation topics. I guess I'm just ramble on. As if I've had a main topic this whole time. Yeah, I've been playing some Factorio. No, that's not really true. I kind of stopped doing that. What's the game I've played recently? Oh, Disco Elysium. Holy shit! What a fun game. It's so awesome. I'm not gonna spoil that thing in the slight chance that anyone watches this and they might want to play Disco Elysium, but holy fuck, is it fun! I hadn't expected that. The only thing I knew going in was that it was a good game. It was story driven, and it was a bit, I guess to say, like, vulgar. And all those things are definitely true, but in a different sense that I expected. I'm not really a big story game guy. I like Hollow Knight storytelling where it's kind of in the background and you can choose to figure it out, and you can like figure it out through environmental storytelling, like piece stuff together. There's not like a main character that you're trying to figure out what's his like shtick through dialogue. You are walking through Hollowness, seeing some characters sometimes say so you can kind of like figure out vaguely what's going on. And, I really like that. It's not the same in Disco Elysium. There you have a lot of dialogue and a lot of stuff to read, which is the kind of the point of the game. It's like complaining about that. It's like complaining about, dude, there's so much dialogue in this book I'm reading, which like yeah. Disco Legion's dialogue is just super funny. Like it's a lot of reading, no gameplay essentially, which I don't know what I expected. I think I expected a little bit different. I thought there would be more gameplay, but the gameplay is that you walk around and talk to people and figure out like puzzles and engage with the world and their characters, which is still super fun. I don't know if I'm sounding like I'm complaining. I'm just kind of expressing the only spoiler-free stuff that I can say, because everything else is like super awesome. It's too awesome that I can't spoil it, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of set this arbitrary limiter on myself to not spoil. It's not really my channel. I can't really spoil anything. Anyway, what else can I talk about? Other game, the Disco Elysium. Noida. That's the other community that I might have contributed to. Because in Noida, like, I just see a lot of Noida content on my Reddit. I don't go on Reddit that much anymore because I've started reading. But whenever I do, it's like every fourth post is a Noida post, which is awesome. They're all great. Like, either they're about a character, like a player who's done something outrageous, they have achieved an outrageous, like, really cool synergy with like spells. They've made, truly crafted a great wand, or they've somehow stumbled upon something horrific, or mainly they just pictures of people dying in incredibly funny ways. Like, yeah, there's a lot of ways to die in that game, and you rarely die the same way twice, and that's just fun. Like seeing people engage with the game and getting horrifically horrible getting into really horrible situations, which makes perfect sense. Like in hindsight, like, oh yeah, I can see how that happened. But of course, when you're playing, like, how the fuck were you supposed to expect this to happen? That's just because everything can fucking happen. And yeah, expect the unexpected doesn't really make sense when you try doing that in practice. But it's super fun to try it anyway. I know it's like one of the communities that I could, like, might be one of the most inclined to engage with, like, contribute to, I'm trying to say. Just because I already see so much Noida posting. And it would be super easy for me to make it. I think that's one of the major contributing factors in that, is that it's super easy for me to do because I just need to play the game and find a funny clip, like, of me dying. If I just kind of, like, because it happens whenever I play the game, oftentimes I will die in some goofy way or something interesting will happen that I could make into a clip and post on Reddit. And it would be really easy, and it would be, like, technically to still be contributing, you know? So that's what I'm most likely to do. Then I said Wild Frost is, like, also because I kind of already have there. It's like the only one I technically might have. Because I made a mod, because I was kind of interested in modding. Because I thought that would be like a fun little project to work on, and Wild Frost is a super fun game. I wanted to, like, engage more with the core mechanic. I wanted to make something contribute, I guess. Oh shit, I won. Awesome. And so I made a mod that was just basic, super easy. It's just, like, made a character, like a new card, a player-ish, like, thing. There was just my own profile picture and some interesting stats. I wanted to make a character that dealt a lot of damage and had relatively little health and kind of a glass cannon. But it started with a debuff that reduced the damage my character could do. Like, if say he did, I think it was 8 damage, which is a pretty significant amount. Then he also started with a -8 damage debuff, which is temporary because it only lasts until your first attack. So you would spawn him, and he would be a super strong card, but he would also be slightly debuffed, you know? I thought that would be an interesting gimmick. Because it's still, like, a really good card. It just has, like, this one nerf. And generally, it's not even that good, because you can achieve similar levels of power without that nerf. You can just, like, you know, work with, like, get some charms or upgrade stuff. But the thing about that character is that I think also is super fun about some of the other characters. One of my favorite gimmicks in that game is that a lot of characters are super powerful, but have a somewhat, like, downside that you can play around somehow. Or just remove if you find, like, the Durian Charm, which is super fun. It just removes all effects on the card. Like, every interesting factor except, like, the stats, which is super strong when a card is just a strong card, but has, like, a nerf. I can't hear anything. I'm wondering, I don't know if it's attacking me or not. Audio binding is kind of struggling. So I made a card for that. But yeah, I don't think it's super interesting. It might have been done before in some other game. Maybe even the same game, who knows. But I just wanted to fuck with modding, see how that's like. So technically I have contributed. I just didn't post it. I didn't release it, you know? Which I think is, like, the main thing you do when you contribute something, is that you actually contribute. Because I didn't. I just made something for myself and only myself. I probably could just release it. You know? It's like, it was super easy. You just press a button, I think. I didn't really fuck with it. It was my goal. But I can also imagine that I might want to make a different mod that seems more interesting. I kind of want to work with swapping. If you don't know the game, I already kind of explained it, but you put cards in certain places on a grid, essentially, and then they engage with each other. And you can move them around on this grid willy-nilly on your turn. You can just, like, it's a free action, just moving them, changing their, like, position. I kind of want to make a card that is stuck in the position you put it in. Completely stuck, can't be moved, except for using other abilities.
Hollow Knight Station.
Station. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so I wanted to make a card that might only move if other cards move it, because there's one, like, the last final super secret final boss. Does have an effect that makes all your cards unmovable, which is a super huge debuff. It kind of, like, wrecks. You gotta make sure that you put your characters in a good spot and you put them immediately in a good spot. And I kind of want to make a car, or maybe multiple cars that can't be moved. But maybe they can be moved using other cards. Like maybe there's a card with an effect that just swaps 2 cards, which would be very insignificant on its own and be incredibly useless. But then I might make some synergy with maybe there are cards that gain stats when swapped, you know? And then suddenly you can make some synergy with, okay, this enemy, like this ally doesn't really do anything except it swaps the 2 front allies. And these 2 front allies you also min-maxed so that they gain like absurd stats when swapped, and so every turn they swap and gain incredibly powerful shit, and you gotta be more careful about where they're placed. In card, like, because enemies will be moving and shit, I don't know. I think there's potential in that. And it's not really been done before in that game. It's a relatively young game. The modding community is relatively new. I don't think it's new anymore, actually. It was when I last played the game. Kind of finished everything there is to finish. Like every achievement, everything, all that. I could play some mods, and I have played some mods. They're super fun. That's why I'm kind of interested in doing my own. I don't know. That's my theory. Like my idea, I guess. Not really a theory. I might do that one day. Huh? Could you go? Attack? Jesus. So I'm hanging out with my friends, and they keep fucking interrupting me. I don't know why they think I want to hang out with them. Like I came to their house. Now I'm sitting in their room, playing their game on their channel. Why would I want to talk to them? I don't get it. But they're really like, I guess we're hosting a New Year's Eve party today. Mostly my friends. I don't live here, but I invite most people. It was like getting depressingly late in the year. We were reaching a point where we really had to start inviting people, and then we still didn't do it. And then we made the group chat without inviting anyone, and we still didn't invite anyone. And then one day I was like, okay, I think it was one of my friends were asking, are you guys hosting this year or not? Because I've been invited for something else. And I was like, oh shit, okay, fine, I'll do it. And I just invited everyone that I thought would be awesome to have. Which of course all of them are my friends, and then they can of course invite their extras, their plus ones or whatever. Now we're around like 16 people. Maybe there's still a chance some of them don't show up. Very late to announce that, but we have accounted for that. We're kind of hoping for that. We don't really have a space for 16 at the dinner table. At least if they show up, they could have the decency to show up late. Thank you very much, because we don't have enough food or plates for them all. So we're hoping that works out. Hard to say. I think they'll be showing up in around 2-3 hours. So now, what's the time now? 3 p.m. What's that in normal? 15, yeah. Alright, yeah, they'll be showing up in 2 hours or so. 2.5 hours maybe. I have a feeling a lot of them will show up late. It's not really a very formal party. So I'm like playing Hollow Knight instead of preparing. It's kind of a weird, awkward spot I'm in where this is not my house. I don't live here, but I still showed up early to like help prepare and like hang out early. But I haven't really helped at all. I haven't contributed barely anything. I've just been here to lighten the mood, you know. I'm more moral support for the people actually preparing for stuff. But I don't know what to do. Like, yeah, like I can like clean up maybe, but then else was already like vacuuming. Not like everyone was actually working. There's like they have a system, I think. They like on a paper who's got like responsibility for which cleaning task, which I think is a good idea for our group to have. I don't have any responsibilities though, so what am I supposed to do? Play Hollow Knight, that it is then. Before playing, I just kind of walked around aimlessly, trying to leech off other people's jobs and like trying to hang out with them, kind of distracting them, honestly. Until finally, like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna go here, record a video. It's kind of fun. I can talk about my feelings on broadcasting to the entire world. Super cool. Definitely some videos that I've made that I'm wondering, should I remove those? They are maybe a bit too personal for something online. But then again, there's nothing like problematic, I don't think. Maybe in 5 years I'll become like a crime lord and the videos I've made will be embarrassing and then I'll remove them. But until then, they can stay up. Yeah, I think there's 3 videos in total, or maybe 1. I'm not sure. I feel like there's 2 extra, but there's at least 1 that never got published, or maybe it did, but then immediately got unpublished by YouTube, because that's what it did. It definitely had some serious tones in it. Say, definitely talk of suicide. Probably shouldn't say that word now. And then he got, like, yeah, he got struck down and gave me a strike on my YouTube channel. I think it was like a derogatory way, like shit on my friends. We were like in a group call with all of us playing different things. I think I was playing Hollow Knight, basically just recording them saying funny shit in Danish. But they were definitely being very mean at some point to one of us, which is kind of the bit, kind of the joke. And mention of suicide was definitely mentioned, and YouTube didn't like that. So I definitely have 1 strike for that, and that video isn't published. I think I just skip like a number, you know, it's like, oh, it's day 240 to 242, just skipping 241. I should have dream-nailed him, whoops. And then I also think I have 1 video that just failed to upload. Pretty sure, at least. I don't know if I somehow solved that, or oh fuck, yeah, that was bad. I don't know if I ever solved that or something, but for a while it wasn't uploaded. That could be a potential second video. That did he block it? God damn it! I love that he can do that, but I also hate that he can do that. It's kind of funny, but god damn it, you know? Because I gotta just prevent that. Like, he doesn't block very often, and when he does, it's very well telegraphed. It just doesn't really look like a block. You don't expect it to be a block. Like, holy shit, 2 in a row? Maybe it's because I don't have audio on, I can't tell. I'm just taking the opportunity that I can to fire a jelly on him. I'm not really worrying too much about when, you know. As long as it doesn't hit me, then it's not really a bad thing. Like this. Oof, bad. Oh shit. Well, there goes my lifeblood. Yeah. There we go. Definitely have lost to Umu more times than I care to admit. So I haven't lost at all. Also lost to Flukemon once. That sucks. Ah, shit. Nosk. Least favorite fight. Fuck Nosk. Fuck all you Nosk fans out there. Gotta be said. How does he do it? How did I used to do it? Having conversation for like whole hours at a time? You'd think I had a lot to say. I haven't ranted in eons. I like saying eons, apparently. I guess I just rant to people now. Friends. Family. And talk about shit. More engaging when there's someone to like talk back to you. Maybe I shouldn't say that on a video because people will realize how alone they are. That I'm not responding to them. It's honestly on you guys for not responding to me right now. For real. Yep. Fuck it, you know. Childhood stories then. One time when I was a kid, there's this other kid, who I was friends with. But one day, we got into an argument. I cannot for the life of me remember what. It doesn't really matter. We became enemies suddenly. Rivals even. And well, that was fine though, because I was a cooler kid than he was, so I kind of won. I could have all these other people to talk to, while he was alone and sad. And I was prideful in that. I was happy in that. I would never, like, ever skulk out to him and apologize for whatever I did, or what if he did otherwise, blah blah blah. I couldn't be in the wrong, because I was in the social upper hand. Had the social upper hand of having other friends to hang out with. He probably did too, but that wasn't my concern. Except then, at the conflict, when it's its absolute peak, the highest, where the most non-friends, most deviously enemies, something like that. We go on like a tour to a museum with the school, which on its own is not that bad, but it's one thing you know about museums when you're a kid is that they're very, very boring. Horribly boring. Holy shit, I don't care. At least in like olden days museums, they didn't have any like interactable stuff. So we're just walking around looking at art we didn't care about, looking at sculptures we didn't care about, looking at history we didn't care about because we were young and we didn't care. And talking to each other, you know, hanging out essentially. Except my dastardly enemy, former friend, had brought something with him. One that would change my life forever. He brought a Rubik's Cube. And he could solve that Rubik's Cube in an incredible amount of time. Horrible situation for me. Because I could not solve a Rubik's Cube. And what was I going to do? Like, I was curious, but what could I just go up to him and ask him, like, yo, how do you solve that? No, of course not. We're enemies. I can't ask him that. That's like a way of, like, defeat. I can't initiate conversation. He would initiate conversation with me. Because otherwise I've lost the conflict. That's fine. That's fine. I don't really care. The Rubik's Cubes are not that cool anyway. Surely not. Except, apparently, they're really cool. And everyone else wanted to figure out how to solve it too, because he brought this Rubik's Cube with him. There's nothing else to do in this museum except talk to the other. He brought a Rubik's Cube. People had nothing to do. Like, yo, can you teach them how to do that? And he said, sure, of course. He was a nice guy. He just taught them how to do the Rubik's Cube. More and more people gathered, and suddenly the whole class was watching him. This, like, essentially like super celebrity at this point, with a Rubik's Cube, teaching everyone except me. I was sitting around doing nothing. Had nothing on me. Didn't have a phone, of course. I was too young for that. Didn't have any toys. Didn't have any friends to talk with. They were all playing with the Rubik's Cube. And here I was, fool. I'd been an enemy of the most popular guy in the world, apparently. I had no one left. So I sucked it up. It's like, fine, I'll go apologize. So I was like, at least I'll just go hang out, you know, just forget about it, you know, just pretend nothing ever happened. Teach me how to make the Rubik's Cube. I can be part of this, like, collective again. Be part of the friends group. But he said no. He just said no and laughed at me. And I think that kind of ruined my perception of humanity, I think. I'm not that sly. I guess it's like really emotional memories that I'm... Damn, why was I up there? Really emotional memories, but whatever. Now I can solve a Rubik's Cube, by the way. So who won, really? Shit, yeah.